There are thousands of DOS games. Most of them are terrible. I played one selected at random with a 20-minute time limit and record it live. This is the result. Hey there, real quick before this episode starts. As of this recording, I am getting over a cold, so if I sound a little different and might miss a few things in the video, then you know why. Hello everyone, welcome back to the new Random DOS Game Show. And this week we are greeted with the same prompt I got the last time I did a Random DOS Game Show episode for composite or RGB color output. And this is another official DOS port of an arcade classic. Now, the last time when I played Up and Down, there was at least one comment from a viewer who was saying that the visuals were kind of hard on the eyes, but I think we'll be alright here because I did let this run long enough just to watch the attract mode, and the scrolling is a lot slower than in Up and Down. But let's go ahead, so I'll go ahead and pick Composite. And we have Commando. And it was copyright 1986 by Data East. Now this is a Capcom arcade classic from 1985. I've actually never played Commando though, but I kind of know it more by reputation. I have no idea if this DOS port is any good or not. We're watching the attract mode right now, but what happens if we just... There we go. So let's press fire to start. And I press spacebar, so that's how you fire. Now I have to figure out how to control my guy, though. So J walks to the left. Let's see. Wow, these are some weird controls. Holy cow. This might take me a second to get used to this. So let me try to explain once I regain control here. So J walks left, O walks up, P walks right. What walks down? Can you walk down? These are some weird controls. I'm not sure if I'm ever going to get used to this. Oh my gosh. Okay, and comma walks down. Wow. Those are some rough controls. I don't know if I've ever had a control scheme like that before. So J-O-P and comma. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Alright, well, in any event... let us proceed. Yeah, and you press the space bar to shoot. But because of that control layout, it's really awkward. Because you're moving with, like, the fingers of your right hand. And, I don't know, the way it's working right now, yeah, I'm using the fingers on my right hand. Okay. And I'm shooting with the left. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, this might be the fatal flaw of this port of Commando. The controls. Maybe if you go into DOSBox... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, is this like an 8-directional? Oh, wait a minute. Let me try something here. Can I move the numpad? Oh, I can move with the numpad. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, that is so much more manageable. Okay. Alright, so things aren't quite so dire as I thought they were. But it is kind of odd that there's an alternate control scheme with that. Maybe it's... I don't know. I don't think this is... I don't think this allows for 2 players. I was thinking, I don't know, maybe it's for simultaneous 2-player mode, but I don't think this has a 2-player mode. Alright, but anyway... Now that I've got that situated, I can proceed. We're just going to keep hammering the spacebar. You might hear that over the course of this gameplay session. Because you don't have to worry about running out of ammo. At least I don't think you do. There's no ammo counter, and I'm able to just keep on shooting. And the enemies don't seem to be particularly bright, but that's probably for the best. Oh my goodness. Alright, and controlling even the high score menu is a bit unwieldy though, because when you move in the direction, it's one of those things where it toggles a move, and you have to press the 5 key to stop moving. Anyway, let me just enter my name. Is there a space on here? There might not be. That's fine. I'll just go with B-Man's LN. That's fine. And end. Where did I score on here? Hey, I'm first place by default because there weren't any other high scores. What do you know? All right, let's go back in. I know what I'm doing, more or less, I think. There's one thing that I'm not quite certain on, if this game has it or not. I might have to do some more experimentation. It's worth noting, too, that this does not contain a manual in eXoDOS or a key sheet or anything like that. So you really just have to trial and error this, unless you run across a document online for it. Okay, so I see there are enemies that are tossing grenades. And the thing I'm looking for is to see if you have the option to throw a grenade. Because I know that the arcade version of Commando had a grenade fire. And a lot of I'm pretty sure all the ports would have that too. It was a pretty integral part of the gameplay. Because I've seen some footage of like the NES, and I think the Atari 7800 had a port as well. I mean, this was ported to a whole bunch of consoles and microcomputers back in the day, because Commando was super popular when it came out. Okay. It is kind of interesting that it's in 8-directional control. Oh, is that a POW there? Well, I think I might have lost it there when I got stuck on the tree. So it looks like there might be POWs that you can rescue, which is in keeping with the original game too, I think. You got special scores. Oh my gosh, this mortar team is just incessant there. Oh, nice. So we're starting right at the POW. Let's see. Can we rescue him? I got off the screen too fast. And I'm dead again. All right. Oh, wow, I'm right here now. Okay. So there are kind of checkpoints, I guess, if you cross certain directional thresholds. Whoa, cursor. Get under control. Well, I'll just do it real quick. B-Man's L, N, and end. And, all right. I think I hit first place again. Was that first my most recent playthrough? I wasn't paying that close attention to my high score, but let's see. Yeah, I don't think it tells you anything. The only thing the C key does is that it toggles between keyboard and joystick. But, oh, there's music on this? Yeah. Yeah, for some reason it wasn't playing there. Maybe I accidentally hit that, initially. Well, there's music to accompany it now, with glorious PC speaker music here. Although, I don't know if this is going to get old fast or not. It might, in which case I'll turn off the music again. Let me just experiment a bit here. If I'm being given a moment to experiment, of course, this being a port of an arcade game, enemies come at you fast and furious. Sorry, folks, I had to cut there for a minute because when I was pressing all the keys trying to find how to throw a grenade, I hit the Q key, and it kicked me right out of the game without any fanfare. So I had to restart. I I just had to restart the game and also restart my recording. I got to edit that in post, but... Alright, so we're back. So don't press the Q key unless you want to quit immediately. So let me just go ahead and see. I'm just pressing... Oh, was that my grenade, or... Okay. I think it's the Z key. Let's go ahead and proceed. Yes, it is the Z key. And it looks like, in this port at least, the grenade flies in the direction that you're facing. So that's kind of different from at least some versions of Commando that I know of, because I know, like, I think, like, for instance, the NES port, when you fire the grenade key, it only moves upward. But in here, it's whatever direction you're facing. I don't know if that's more faithful to the arcade original or not, but it is an important distinction between the different versions. But let's see if I can get to that mortar again. Nope, I wasn't able to. Alright, let me just go ahead and just do a real quick B, move on. Oh, I didn't save my high scores. That's unfortunate. Not that I cared a whole lot about high scores, but... Alright, so... Yeah, because I know that the grenades in other versions of Commando, at least, can come in handy because they arc over obstacles. So you can take out enemies that are, for instance, taking cover, like that soldier right there is. So let's go ahead and try it. Yeah, what do you know? I took out a whole group of them there, so... Alrighty. I think that was some gold or something, or treasure that I walked by to pick up, but oh well. Alright, I'm gonna play this for a little bit longer, but yeah, because this is a very difficult game, too. I guess that's also in keeping with the arcade original, and to chew through your quarters. And I'm willing to bet, even though I haven't really played much Commando at all, like I mentioned before, I'm willing to bet this isn't the best version of Commando out there. Oh, man. Yeah, this is tough as nails, honestly. Maybe I'll try one more time. And I'm gonna really focus here. Try my hardest. Oh, well, I'm off to a bad start, aren't I? Alright. Let's go. I think Commando... I watched a... right before I played this, I watched a Jeremy Parrish video. Terrific YouTube channel, by the way. I highly recommend that channel, but I watched his retrospective of the NES version of Commando. And one of the things that he asserted is that Commando was one of the first games that gave the player direct control over how fast the game would scroll for a shooter like this, rather than have it a preset scroll that you had no control over. Kind of allowed for a more dynamic experience and focused more on, place more of an emphasis on reflexes rather than rote memorization and such, so kind of interesting. I don't know how well Commando holds up, has held up over the years and such, with all sorts of other shooters that innovated in so many other ways, but it is worth noting that it was one of the reasons why this game was so successful. Also, too, I'm pretty sure this was just a coincidence, but the game Commando came out a handful of months before the movie Commando came out, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, and the game was not affiliated with the movie. It wasn't a movie tie-in, but it was a case of very fortuitous timing, because it could kind of feel like a movie tie-in game, with you running around gunning down legions of soldiers like that one famous action sequence from the movie Commando. Come on. get past this bridge at least. Maybe I should just try making a mad dash. Oh my gosh, there's a motorcycle dude. Awesome. Oh, guy's behind cover too, taking pot shots. Come on. No, I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen today. I would have to really work at it. Maybe it doesn't start with a C, it starts with a B. Come on. There you go. Okay, so yeah, I think I'll go ahead and just call it here. And I'll give you my thoughts. Okay, I turned off the music so I could hear myself think, but that's Commando. It seems like a no-frills port of the arcade game for DOS. And I'll be perfectly honest, this isn't really the game for me, personally. I am no stranger, per se, to hard games. Like, for instance, I like the Metal Slug series and such with one-hit kills and run-and-gun gameplay. But this is kind of too hard for me, personally. But you know what? If you're the type of person who likes these types of games, then you might like it. So, yeah, overall, as a port, I may not care for it very much, but I can appreciate it for what it is. And yeah, it seems decent enough. Just make sure to use the numpad for the controls, because the alternative for the letter keys is an exercise in agony. And if you want to see more random DOS game coverage, be sure to check out the other videos on the channel, as well as Lonnie's original run in our playlists. And if you like what you see, consider subscribing. That's all for now, and until next time, take care everyone.